What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to be doing a weekly reading for the week of December 17th through December 23rd. The holidays are here, they're on their way, and I hope you guys are enjoying this holiday season. If you haven't seen my holiday videos, go check those out. I did one for each Zodiac sign, as always, so that should give you some holiday inspiration, hopefully. But this is going to be an interesting week. You know, we've got a new moon on Monday. We're leading up to Christmas. And, you know, this is a time of year. It's a very strange time of year when society, outward society, actually encourages us to be grateful, to show gratitude, to show love, to express, thankfulness for our friends and our family. So I hope you're using this outside energy to uplift your own vibration, trying to stay away as much as possible from the corporate aspect, from the capitalist materialistic aspect of it. They just had to throw it in there. They couldn't have a nice time of year where we just love each other and show gratitude. They had to throw in the materialism in there. But you know what? You don't have to do anything society tells you to do. Okay? For today's reading, I'm going to be using the Morgan Greer Tarot. This is a lovely tarot deck from the 70s. And it should give us some nice insights into this week ahead to give us some clarity. So if you would please give me a moment to make sure these cards are the right direction, center myself, and ask the tarot cards the question: what do we need to know about this upcoming week? You know me by now, I'm a shuffler. Okay, that ought to do it. Right there. Cut the deck, and this is going to be 3 cards, as always, as it is every Sunday. 1, 2, and of course we're going to look at these cards individually, and then see what kind of message they're trying to tell us as a whole. So first we'll look at this card, and we have got the 5 of Swords. Oh my. It's never pleasant to see this card. This is the card of arguments, of debate, of fighting verbally, or, you know, could be physical fighting, but I think more verbal fighting. Maybe a spar, a mental spar. And this card reminds us that there are no winners when we debate, when we argue, when we try to impose our will, our ego mind on other people. And I think that's a warning for this week, is that, you know, maybe... Well, every week we have the opportunity to either engage in these arguments or just walk away and not participate. And I think this card is asking you to not participate, because as we see here, the victor, the person here who's carrying the swords, he or she won the argument. But if you look in the background, what price did it come with? What was the price tag on that? Because their friends or family or whoever they argued with have kind of turned their back. They've been a little bit disgusted by this person. Maybe you were even right. Even if you were right, that still doesn't mean that you've won the argument, because now you've lost, you've hurt your relationships with others. So keep that in mind if you have the opportunity to argue, to debate, to try to impose your thoughts and your feelings onto someone else. Realize that they have their own thoughts, and you haven't walked a mile in their shoes. You don't know where they're coming from, just as they don't know where you're coming from exactly. So it's always good, always better to let the other person have their reality, and you can express yourself without arguing, without trying to debase their point of view. So this is about clear communication that accepts the other side, no matter what it may be, for they're coming from a different perspective than you. So remember that this week, and I think that's going to help you tremendously to have a more harmonious, a happier holiday season, okay? Let's move on to the second card. And we've got the 6 of Cups. Or 4 of Cups, excuse me. And this card is asking you to think about where your focus is. Where are you placing your focus, especially when it concerns your emotions? Are you focusing on lack? Are you focusing on what you don't have? Or are you focusing on all the things you do have? And as we see in this card, there's 3 full glasses here, and they're full of life and love and riches and resources, and there's so much to be grateful for, so much to be happy about. But the person in this photo is looking at what's right in front of them, which is a half or a full empty glass. And while yes, if you are being real with yourself in your life, there are empty glasses. There are emotions that you don't necessarily want to look at. There are emotions or feelings or situations that aren't what you want. But if you really look at it, if you're being objective, if you take an overall bird's eye view of your life, you'll realize that these full glasses are surrounding you, and there's like 1 or 2 empty glasses. And if you choose to focus on that empty glass is going to be your 100% your reality. But if you choose to focus on all these full glasses, all these cups that are just bursting with love and creativity and abundance, then that is your reality, and that is what will be true for you. So this card is asking you this week to kind of check where your focus is at. What are you focusing on? Where are you placing your emotions? Is it into the idea of lack, or is it into the idea of abundance? And I can guarantee you have a cell phone or a computer, you have internet access. I know that about you 100% with truth. And that right there is a starting point, because a lot of people don't have that. And if you use that as a starting point, then you realize that you have food every day, you have a roof over your head, you have a place to sleep, you have clothes to wear. You have so much that other people could wish they had. I remember I went to India, and the moment I stepped out of the airport, one of the first things I saw was a man who, I guess he lives at the airport. He was outside the airport. He had nothing, literally nothing, except a dirty rag that was sort of covering his body. And that's all he had in the world. And he kind of lived at the airport, just sat there, while people around him are hopping on planes and, going from here and there. He's just sitting there at the airport watching all this go by. And, it didn't seem sad, okay? Because he was alive and he was grateful for that. So that's something to think about this holiday season. All right, last card here, we have the 8 of Cups. And this card is about moving away from what no longer serves you. What, you're just realizing that, that's not good for me. I'm going to go in search of something else. And this could have to do with your emotions and maybe moving away from those negative emotions towards something more positive. And now that we've seen these cards as a whole, they sort of fit together. I think the story that this spread is trying to tell us right now is that when we focus on the ego, when we, allow ourselves to get caught up in the ego, and the ego will get us into arguments or discussions or debates, I think that can lead to a focus on negativity, right? When we're arguing with someone, we're not focused on the good points they're making. We're focused on the points that we think are wrong, that are lacking, so that we can jump on them and make them seem foolish, right? And that leads to a period or a feeling of negativity, which is what this card is saying. And we start to focus on negativity. But now the 8 of Cups here is saying, that can only last for so long until you get fed up. And you got to move on. You got to find something new. So I get the feeling that's going to occur in many of our lives this week, is that exact process where our ego mind gets us to focus on negativity. We focus on negativity, forgetting the positivity around us, which eventually leads to us saying we've had enough. We're going to go in search of something better. And we can just skip this whole thing if you want. If you skip the first step, you can already be at step 4. You know what I mean? You don't have to go through this if you are slanted towards positivity. If you have a positive mind state, we don't have to go through this. We don't need to feel the 8 of Cups energy, because we're already at the place where we want to be. But it is a learning process, and if this is part of your growth, then we'll go through this and we'll learn our lessons, and hopefully you learn that the ego mind started this, and it was this idea of associating with your ego mind that got you into this predicament in the first place. Your ego mind is merely a collection of things that you've learned from other people. And the heart space is what is truly you. And the 8 of Cups is saying, I'm sick of this ego mind. I'm going to go in search of the heart space. And If that's the lesson you gotta learn, that's the lesson you gotta learn this week. But keep that in mind, and maybe you will learn the lesson quicker. Alright, that is the weekly reading. I hope that made sense. I hope it did. You never know. If you did like it, please hit that like button. Why not? It takes you half a second. It lets me know you enjoyed it, and it's spreading the holiday cheer. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything you want to say about this reading, put that in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and anything you want to say, really. And if you really enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date on all my videos. These weekly readings come out every Sunday. And I want to wish you guys a happy holidays. I want to wish you a fantastic new moon. This is a chance for new intentions to be set. And hopefully your intentions have nothing to do with the ego mind and everything to do with your heart. And I think that's something to keep in mind this week as well. So I want to wish you the best week possible, friends. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, it doesn't matter. Or Yule, whatever you celebrate. And yeah, that is the weekly reading. Okay, so leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Happy holidays. Peace.